All right, so one of the things that I've already been asked like 17 times, because that's what we do here at Media Days, is the pressure on LSU football and what do they have to do this year? What's acceptable? Because they haven't made it into the college football playoffs since BK's been the head coach. They haven't won an opener. Now that goes back before Brian Kelly as well. It has been since 2019. 2019. So in the 2020s, you have not won an opening game. It's like, okay, if they don't make the playoff, like what is the conversation? And it should be the conversation, right? Shouldn't it? Like for a place like LSU, you expand the playoff, right? 12 teams. I think that the expectation every single year, now you're not going to get there every single year, but I think it should be, all right, are we going to say this was a success? Or are we going to say this was disappointing? Or are we going to say this was a failure? I think success, college football playoff. Disappointing, being on the verge of a college football playoff, right? Like one game, like think Alabama, South Carolina, Ole Miss last year. Like that should be disappointing to you. And then a failure is if you're not in the conversation. So I think there's three different ways to look at it. But this year, with what you did, who you bring, like there's not a quarterback on this little sheet right here that I would take over Garrett Nussmeier. That's not being biased. That's just looking at who's coming back, knowing what he did a year ago, knowing how much I think you jump from year one to year two. The conversation we always have. There's not a meathead on this list that I'd rather have than Whit Weeks at linebacker, right? So you have got the pieces. You've added pieces as well. You have added coaches. You have done a lot this offseason. Another great recruiting class. It should be highly disappointing if you don't make the college football playoff.
Yeah, that's why this year the conversation around the country is a lot different for LSU going in, because we are returning. We do have all those pieces. Last year there was a little bit of unknown. Of course, there was, from a personnel standpoint, unknowns on defense, but a lot of unknowns about Garrett Nussmeier. People had seen him do good things, but they had also seen him come in and backup blowout situations where it didn't look so hot, right? Come in with the bomb squad, and we've talked at like nausea about like the mentality of those types of situations. But we do have all those pieces, and this is like the first year I think that Brian Kelly is taking his team into a season with absolutely zero excuses, right? You got it. You have the personnel. You did a great job in the transfer portal. It's like solidifying pieces over on the defense. And, of course, you're bringing in one of the top quarterbacks in the country that has proven to be that NFL caliber guy. You got the pieces around him. You got to shore up some stuff on the offensive line. You got some unproven commodities there. But we have no doubt that those things are good. So, of course, like especially this year, every year with LSU, that's the beauty of this program and being one of the blue bloods in the country is that you do have those expectations. If you're not in the conversation to win a title, whether it's an SEC title, a national title, and, of course, with 12 teams in the playoffs, being part of the playoff picture, it is a disappointment. It's a big disappointment. But I feel like it's kind of been sheltered. That expectation and disappointment's been a little sheltered the last couple of years because there have been some personnel issues that we were building and building and building. But this is the year that those excuses are out the window. LSU does have to show up. And if we are not at least in the conversation, I expect them to contend for an SEC championship. I expect them to contend for a national championship. Of course, there has to be good fortune with that. You have to have some good fortune with injuries. You have to have things go your way in big situations and big-time games. But I fully expect that. And if they're not in, it is going to be a disappointment. And that's just not us saying. Each one of these three guys and Coach Kelly that are here this week would tell you the exact same thing if they're sitting across from us.
For sure.
They're going to say, if we're not part of that conversation, this is a big letdown.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. It's one of the things I actually really appreciate about it is like there's not backing down from that. But to me, winning the opener, and it's become a joke because it's been so bad in the last 5 you've lost, and it's like you almost just expect it to go wrong now. But can you imagine what it would be like to step out on the right foot and not start the season 0-1 and be like, okay, well, we got to be perfect for the rest of the season, because I'm sure that's what it feels like in that building is you start 0-1. It's like, man, we hadn't even got to the gauntlet of the SEC yet. It's like we have to be perfect. And then when you play perfect, you play tight, you don't play your normal game. And just a win to start 1-0 as you head into a Louisiana Tech game. And, hey, guess what? 2-0 And then you got Florida's on the horizon. It's like, can you imagine the confidence of that compared to starting out 0-1, and then you go play in Tiger Stadium for your home opener, and there's there's 80,000 people there because everybody's disappointed already. It's like, what are we really going to learn from this game? It's like, and then you limp into a Florida game. If you beat Clemson, you're full speed sprint.
Yeah, it's let's not start with our back against the wall this year, having to play perfectly here on out. Maybe all we need is a little challenge. I think that going into the opening game, the past whatever billion years that we've lost these games, I think that LSU was expected to win. They were the favorite usually, and from our standpoint as analyzing and former players, we're like, yes, LSU should win all these games. This is the first year that we're playing a true road game against a really top opponent, against a Heisman contender quarterback. So on paper, this is probably the toughest opening game that LSU has had in this stretch of losses. So, but this is also probably one of the better teams, top to bottom. So I
think it's the best one you faced in the Florida State team that you lost to in Orlando. That was a good football team. I mean, they went undefeated in the regular season, so I don't want to disrespect them, but this Clemson team is the same or even more than that team.
Yeah, no, and this is a true road game. This is a home and home situation, and that's what I kind of love. I love this setup.
Yeah.
Going there, playing at somebody's field. They get to come to us at some point. So this is going to be. It's not one of these neutral site or these neutral site openers at an NFL stadium. This is truly going on the road in an extremely hostile atmosphere, and let's see if the Tigers and the preparation and all the talk leading up, if we can put it out on the field and get it and start out 1-0, which, I mean, good Lord. I mean, you think LSU fans would just breathe a huge sigh of relief?
If you lose yet another opener.
What happens if you win? Nope.
Yeah, there we go. Dang it. I was going to go perfect this week, and I knew it.
Those buttons are made for your fingers, too.
I know it. It's okay. We'll get there.